Okay, welcome to the second week of the second season of Grand Arena Championships. Today is going to be a quick video. I've already pre-recorded my video and I'm doing a voiceover after the fact just because I have some family visiting. Plus, with the General Skywalker event happening, I was a little crunched on time. Good news is we did manage to unlock Skywalker, and I'm well on my way to getting shards for him. Um, I have uh, I have enough shards saved up, enough guild currency saved up. So let me show you guys. So I had about 77k saved up. I've already bought about 30 shards of him. I'm down to 67k, but I'm hoping that within 4 or 5 days I should have the rest of the shards. You need a total of 180, and once I have that, I do have all the gear to take him to G12, I think. And then after that, I do have his G12 plus pieces, and I have enough relic pieces saved up as well to take him directly to relic level 7. So I'm hoping to have a few good videos for you guys over the next week or so on General Skywalker. The rest of my clone team, my 501st team is already there. I probably might need to give Ahsoka a G12 plus piece, but the rest of the team seems to be more or less aligned. I just need to relic them up a little bit. But once General Skywalker is R7, which I'm hoping will get done before the next Grand Arena week, we should see some interesting matches in Grand Arena Championships. All right, let's go ahead and move over to our Grand Arena. Um, so as I mentioned, I've already pre-recorded these battles. So this week I didn't have any time to do the pre-work that I usually do, which is going in and scouting my opponents and seeing what the roster level is. But just to give you a quick overview of my current opponent, Saw Hobel from Shadow Wolves. Pretty decent roster, 5.3 million GP, so about 600,000 more than me, but relatively decent roster with good relic characters and decent speed. But yep, so let's just go in and see how we do against it. In terms of defense, I said the same defense that I did last time. I didn't really have much time to think and craft the defense for my opponent, so I kept the exact same defense as I kept in the third round of last time. As you can see, he struggled a little bit on my prepared squad. My JTR team was taken up pretty easily. Um, and Evox and Separatist were one shot as well, no problem there. One shot my CLS and Grievous squad as well at the back, and did struggle a little bit on my Jedi Knight Revan team, but was able to one shot my Darth Revan teams for a total of 1835 banners, I believe. So one 3-shot and one 2-shot, so 1835 is what I have to beat. So I do have some room to go in. All I need to do is cleanly one-shot everything, and then I should be good. So I'm going to go in first against the Darth Revan team. It's a weird Darth Revan team with Thrawn in there. And I'm going to take in my Jedi Knight Anakin Shakti clones team, which is what I've been using to climb an arena these days. So we usually go first with this team. I've learned to use Echo Basic over here because that's what screwed me last time. If you use AoE, Malak can taunt and screw everything up. So call Shakti to assist so that you get offense up on everyone. And here I meant to hide Anakin, but I think I misclicked and I gave the buff to Fives, who ended up taunting. So I got rid of Thrawn first because Fracture can screw things up if he fractures the wrong person. And then I am just continuing to work on the others. I'm going to save my AoE because I want to have uh, at least critical chance up and offense up, and I want someone to fall below 50% health in the previous turn, which still hasn't happened. So my team is still tanky enough to still be above 50% health, so I'm holding on to the AoE. The main thing with this team is just knowing when to have the AoE. So now you see someone is below 50% health. I went ahead and did the AoE and 52 banners. Not great in terms of banners, but at least the offense, you just have to wait for the offense to build up, and then do the AoE at the right time with Anakin, and then the team is any Darth Revan team is pretty easily taken care of. And that was a Relic 4 Darth Revan and Relic 6 Malak, I think, but no problem over there. So against the Karth team, against the separatist squad with Watt, I decided to take in there's L3 who's going to be pre-taunting. It's a stealth team, but I decided to take in my EP team over here with Thrawn, because anytime I see Watt, I immediately think Thrawn if I don't want to overkill it. And the problem with new teams is you don't feel like taking a meta team against them. Um, but that's why I went into these guys. Maybe I could have replaced Thrawn with someone else, but that's what happens over here. You get L3 gets the taunting tech first. I've got my turn meter train rolling. I fracture L3 and then I start working on the others. Unfortunately, Dooku wasn't stunned, which is why we had a little bit of a problem, but I did manage to land days on everyone. And now the turn meter train is rolling, and I'm more or less in a decent shape. So since Acolyte wasn't stealthed yet, I managed to take her out first, and then I'm working on the others right now. Newt is really great for removing banners, because his AOE is something which really causes a lot of problem. It increases the offense and speed of the enemy, and it also ends up costing banners in terms of because it's an AOE which can't be evaded. Can be resisted, but in this particular case, there's no it's not resisted yet. So what I'm doing over here is I'm trying to, as soon as Watt is out of stealth, I'm trying to take out Watt, and he's already passed a few techs around. I think the survivability tech went on Dooku, which makes him pretty irritating. But we lost Watt to dots over here. Now I'm just trying to top up a few people, but as you can see over here, even though I have all 5 characters at almost full health and full protection, with only 2 characters left, these guys still end up creating a bit of a nuisance for my team. So I think, and a lot of people have already observed this, that an R7 Dooku is actually a pretty dangerous character to try to take down. So, and as you can see over here, this character is not yet R7. I think he's G13, or might be G12 with the Zeta. But as you can see over here, an R7 Dooku, who has some of the buffs from Newt's lead, or from his own lead. Both of these leads give out plenty of offense. He can end up doing quite a lot of damage. I end up fracturing him over here just because I want to prevent any more havoc. And I want to take out Newt first. And again, Newt over here with his AoE ends up doing tons of damage in terms of banners to the rest of my team. And there's just no healing that I have over here. There's just Thrawn, and I'm not able to heal these guys up fast enough, which is why I'm taking plenty of damage out here. And with his AoE again, this guy managed to take out my Tarkin, and my EP is very close to losing as well. There goes my EP. So even though I had full health and full protection on all characters, while only Dooku and this guy were left, because of the taunting tech, or because of the healing tech that Dooku got, and because of his counter chance and all of that, these guys ended up taking 2 of my characters out, which wasn't an ideal scenario. Ultimately, at this level, a G12 Dooku is not able to solo, but if it was a G13 Dooku, you never know. He might have actually even soloed the team. So that's a 50 banner win. So maybe next time I should take in something a little more serious against those guys. I was trying to save my best meta teams for the back, but here I see that he didn't have anything much at the back. 2 pretty weak teams, a weak Cart team and weak Vader. And below he's got Clones and a Kira Nest team, which is Clones is formidable, but the other one is really not that great. So I think I'm going to go. I'm still trying to evaluate my options to see what I have left. I do have enough save for offense, so I think I should be able to do a good job against at least the teams at the back. So here I decide to take in a trooper team, I think, against the Vader team, because I check the speeds over there. The team is really not that fast, and anything which has got relatively one or two weak characters without a pre-taunt, you can always take your troopers in over there. My troopers not great, so I don't use them against sisters. I have them all at G10 or G11, but I have modded them decently for offense. And as long as you have one or two squishy characters, even G11 troopers modded right can get the job done for decent banners. So that's what I'm doing over here. There's no taunt over here at all, and there's slow characters with no days. Well, actually, Maul had days, but it really ended up not making a difference. So that's what I'm doing over here. And I know a lot of my buddies and guildmates have really invested a lot in troopers to try to get them to take out Night Sister teams. And they're a great investment for that, but you really do need G12 and some really good mods for that. And that's an investment I'm not willing to make right now on troopers, especially since there's so many new characters that I need to gear with General Skywalker coming up. So that's an investment I just don't have. So against Karth teams, I take my first order over here and I go in with a full squad. Whoever the fifth is over here, I usually stun them first, whether it's Wampa or Nest or anyone like that. And a two-turn stun really keeps them in check. This team is not really well geared or well modded, so there's really not much of a problem for the for the first order team. It's just easy 60 banners usually. Um, they are Zetard, so mission is end up going to end up assisting and all that, um, but dots really don't do anything much to crew, so that shouldn't be a big deal. Um, Crew is actually coming up in importance just because both Kylo and Crew have got such anti-Malak synergy, um, that I think they're going to become definitely much more important in the near future as a viable counter to non-meta counter to Malak. Maybe not right away. They're not able to take out a Darth Revan team, but they have everything. The First Order has everything in built to really become the meta once some new characters are released with a new movie. I bet. So if you have a new character who is able to give the whole team, for example, immunity to health percentage based health effects, that actually is a big boon in today's day and age because we have so many teams which do damage based on percentage health. There's obviously Malik. There's exposed by resistance. There's courage. Plenty of teams, and being immune to that, having a whole team immune to that, it can actually get pretty pretty aggressive and pretty interesting. So I'm hoping for some new characters to come out to make this team even better. But yeah, as you can see over here, the battle is almost winding down. We have full health and full protection on everyone, and I'm just finishing up Zalbar, who's actually cooperating pretty well by being the last person to take down and allowing me to gain some health and protection. All right, so let's tackle what's there down below. We have the clone team and we have Nest with Kira. So let's attack the clone team first. Here I decided to take my Geos, and I messed up with my Geos against clones last time, but I decided to, since I have Malak on offense, I decided to take my Malak over there. Malak can technically solo clones one on one, but I had some freeze issues with Malak when I tried to solo a card team last time. That's why I decided not to take in a solo Malak over here, and I have enough offense left, so decided not to risk and just throw Malak in with the Geos to in order to finish this job. Not much of an issue even if Barris is there. So as you can see over here, clones are not able to do much damage since Barris heals these guys for so much. But yep. So what I'm doing over here is I'm taking out Shakti first. With a Shakti clone team, you always try to target Shakti first because she gets tons of turn meter when clones get attacked. So I took her out with Spy over there, and that's the reason I have Malak in there, because I just wanted to get rid of Fives once and for all once he's lost all protection. and then the team is pretty easy to take down. I could have gone in just with Malik alone, like I mentioned, but why to risk when you've got enough offense? That's one thing I've learned the hard way with Grand Arena. It's always better to overkill than try to get cute and go undersized and end up losing the match. Yeah, so that was the end of that match. That was the toughest team, at least in the front. And then for this against the Nest team, I decided to go in with my Wampa team, Basti Wampa. And I've been using Basti as my lead for Wampa just because of the banner recovery. Um, with Hermit Yoda, who I think is essential under Wampa. Master's training is really great for Wampa. But I've been considering now to change Basti lead to maybe a Boba lead. What I might do is if I decide to keep Django with my separatist squad, then I might actually go with Boba lead to give that additional bump on critical damage, and then put my Basti along with my um, with my Jedi Knight Revan team. So I might just go with the Hermit Yoda, Boba, and Wampa with one or two supporting characters, maybe a taunt or healer or something like that. But I think those guys should be enough for any team, maybe even sisters, because Wampa is great against the Sargelet sisters. And Boba can ignore taunt and go around and execute as well, preventing revives. So maybe a Boba, Hermit Yoda, Wampa, and Watt. Watt is again, another great character against sisters to prevent revives. Maybe some team like that might be feasible in the future. So at the back, he's got sisters and he's got a bounty hunter team. If I had my troopers, I would have taken it against a bounty hunter team, but I think the speed was faster than my troopers, especially with the Django lead. Anyway, so that doesn't matter. I have more than enough offense left. I've got my Treya squad. I've got my own sisters. I've got Padme. So offense is really not an issue. My opponent went relatively light. So I decided to go in with my Treya squad, and since I have my Watt in there as well, I decided to just throw him in against the sisters, just to recover some additional protection and health. Because the good thing about Watt is, so the Treya team by itself, it loses a lot of protection, and they've got no reliable way of recovering protection, with the exception of Scion when he does his special against someone with pain. Otherwise, these guys just can't recover protection. With Watt in there, he really specializes in protection recovery, so that's something which really helps this team and can help you get 58, 59 banners against sisters if you decide to take in Treya against them. Similarly, I think if you're using Treya against bugs, you could give the taunting tech to Scion, or maybe even the health generation tech to Scion, because once Pain is there on the field and all the bugs are taking that turn to attack Scion, um, each turn they take is going to help him recover 5% health and protection, and he's just not going to end up dying at all. So that's another possibility. What with Treya against uh, Geo team. But in this case, as you can see, Treya really poses no problem. Um, Sisters pose no problem for Treya over here. You isolate zombie, work on the others one by one. The other great thing about Watt against his sisters is he applies tons of dots, and he can trigger those dots whenever he wants as well with his second ability. Um, and um, and once the sisters die of dots, they can't be recovered, they can't be revived, even if zombies um, revives aren't exhausted yet. So that's another great thing. And as you can see over here, they're all full health, full protection. In a typical match with Treya against the sisters, there would be less protection everywhere, but pretty easy for these guys to recover health and protection. Annihilator's up. I get rid of a Sarge, and then again reduce cooldown some more. I think I gave the weapons tech to Treya and the healing thing to Scion. But yeah, I mean, apart from the tank thing tech going to Scion, um, to Nihilus. Yeah, the healing thing to Nihilus, the tank one on Scion, and the weapons on Treya. But it really doesn't matter. The Scion one is the main one. Um, we are almost we're almost done over here. We've recovered full health and full protection on everyone, with the exception of Scion, and I don't think we'll get there in time since the team is almost dead. I'm trying to delay over here, trying to recover, but as you can see over here, um, we are just going to fall short of protection on Scion. But now I'm going to trigger, which is going to trigger the healing over the protection over time, and it's going to trigger the dots. So Treya dies from that, um, Talzin dies from that, and then Zombie dies to the dots as well. So end of about 58 banners. I think I lost some protection on either Savage or some health on Watt. And then the final team, I've got more than enough left. I've got Sisters left, I've got Padme left, but I decided to go in with my Padme since Padme teams do a really great job of cleaning up Galactic Republic. I don't have my Jedi Knight Anakin over here since I used him against Darth Revan, but Barris is a great substitute out there. Padme is great against Boba teams because they're very susceptible to percentage health damage, and they rely heavily on debuffs. And this team over here, once the protection up is once a bonus protection is on, no debuffs are going to land on these guys. So that's great. And these guys don't have a dispel apart from the execute on Boba. They really don't have a dispel. So yeah, so bounty hunters can't really get rid of the protection up stacks. Um, I mean, Boba is a danger. I mean, with all the buffs that protection up gives, he can execute, but but yeah, I don't think that happened over here. These guys lose pretty easily against courage, which is the reason why JTR is actually a very good counter against bounty hunters as well, because they're so susceptible to percentage health damage that expose really takes care of them very, very easily. So same thing with courage as well. Alright, so now I've got 19 stacks on Barris, and I did a little bit of damage to Boba. I'm just waiting to finish these guys off. I think I call an assist over here and get rid of this guy. So now I have to think about ways of redoing my Galactic Republic 501st and Jedi team because of the introduction of General Skywalker. Snips now is probably going to go in with my 501st. I might actually decide to get Grandmaster Yoda in here and then put my Jedi Knight Anakin along with my JKR team in the future, but let's see. So that's it for this battle. The second week, I got 1894, one shot all his teams, and it was an easy victory. I will see you guys again in a couple of days when we record the second match. Till then, see you later.